What would you do if your house was on fire? What if you were on fire? Meet the men and women of the Madison Fire Department. They are here to help you. Today, we're going to talk to Miss Lisa from the Madison Fire Department, and she will give us safety tips and tell us about the life of a firefighter. Come listen and learn. Hi, this is Miss Becky with the Madison Library. I'm here with Miss Lisa from the Madison Fire Department, and Miss Lisa has agreed to be here with us so that she can teach us some tips about fire safety, and she's going to give us some advice if you're interested in becoming a firefighter as well. Thank you so much for being here, Lisa.
Oh, well, thank you for asking me.
And she's a very familiar face to us because she's done programs at the library for us for several years, and that's always been a lot of fun. Now, what is your title at the Madison Fire Department? What do you do?
Well, I'm the community educator. A lot of fire departments call them public educators, but we like the idea of community educators. And I'm also a paramedic. I've got my volunteer fire cert, but my background is in EMS. I'm a paramedic at heart. I always tell people I've got the best job in the world. I get to educate people. I get to take care of them if they are having a bad day and are sick or hurt. So I've got the best job in the world.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I thought before we get into more about the fire department and jobs there and everything, we jump right into fire safety.
Yes.
And what is the best advice for someone if they figure out that their house is on fire?
Of course, we hear just, get out and stay out is probably the best advice, but we don't think about if someone is unable to get out. And that's why we really stress people having some sort of an escape plan and having working smoke alarms. But if you find yourself trapped and you can't get out, you want to get as close to the floor as you can because we know the smoke rises and you'll have some clean air about 3 feet off the ground. I always tell people either sit by a window or sit by a door, because that's where the firefighters, they're going to come in. If you go by a window, you can open the window and let the firefighters know that's where you are, and take blankets or sheets or pillows and put along the bottom of the door to keep the smoke from coming into your room.
If you actually catch on fire, what should you do?
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is when the kids love doing this. Stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll.
That's right.
They love that, yeah. So just go forward and roll back and forth. But that suffocates the flames and puts out the flames. But if you can, say your arm is on fire, you've reached across the stove and your sleeve has caught on fire. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. You could get a dish towel or something and just, once again, just try to suffocate the flames to keep the rest of your clothes from catching on fire. But you don't want to run. You don't want to wave it. You want to do what you can. Stay still, get on the floor, roll around, or find a towel or blanket to roll up in.
Right. Yeah. The more air that it gets and oxygen that it gets, the worse it's
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. Well, before a fire would come to your house or be at your house, you really, it would be good to have some kind of plan, wouldn't it? That the household knows.
It is. Yeah, and you're right. I mean, and this is something we really stress, especially in the schools. And anytime I do a first aid or CPR class, we always talk about fire safety. Is when you're at work or in school, you're safe. You're awake, or you should be. You should be awake, but you're awake. More than likely, you have a plan that you've practiced. It's during the daylight hours. You've got a good alarm system. But it's at home where we are so vulnerable because our alarms may be older than 10 years old. We haven't practiced an escape plan. We may be sleeping, and you have got to practice your escape plan at home. I mean, to figure out, is there anybody in the household that's not going to be able to get out on their own? And this could be a baby or a small child. This could be someone who's bedridden and is unable to get out. So what are you going to do with them?
I think that's important to practice and to do it regularly, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is. And you can make with kids, and so you can make a game of it with the children. If you have children that are in school, they're getting a fire drill every month. Yeah. So they're getting it at school, but they're not getting it at home. So take that opportunity, if you know that they've had it, is to say, hey, when we go home, let's go ahead and get an escape plan when we get home, and you can show us how we can get it. How we could get out if there was a fire, because kids do think about this, and it causes them some anxiety because they do get the message at school and they're just not getting it at home.
Right. Now, if a child realizes that there's a fire, the first thing isn't to just run to the door and open it, because the fire could be right out there. What should they do when they're sitting in their room and they realize, I smell smoke and there is a fire?
You smell smoke. Yeah, I mean, touch the door with the back of your hand. You don't want to touch it with the palm of your hand, because if it's really hot and you burn this, it's going to hurt to crawl out. So check it with the back of your hand, and if it's hot, don't open it. Okay. If it's not hot, you can open it a little bit and see if there's a lot of smoke out there. If you see fire out there, is it clear for you to go out? And if you can't go out, barricading or sheltering in place in your room, putting something along the door, and that's when you sit on the floor and sit by the window or sit by the door.
If a firefighter comes into the room and and a child is often scared because
Right.
first of all there's a fire and their
Yeah.
parents may not be right there with them.
Right.
And the firefighter has all this equipment that's a pretty intimidating looking. What should a child do if he's what would he expect to see, and what should he do when he sees a firefighter?
Right. And I tell you, one of the things I always tell, once again, but things that I tell children are they're looking for you. If you can't get out of your house, you need to know that the firefighters, they're looking for you. That's why they're going in. And when you see that firefighter, you need to just grab a hold of them as tight as you can, because they're in there and they're looking for you, and they're there to save you and get you out of there. Yeah.
And I guess the last place they should go is hiding under their bed, because a firefighter would find them. They wouldn't want to hide.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hiding under the bed or hiding in their closet. Yeah, those are two places. They don't need to. They need to be out. Like I said, sitting by the door or sitting by the window. Those are going to be one of the two ways that the firefighters are going to come in. Are
there any other pieces of advice if in the house? And then I was going to ask you about schools and what they should do there. But anything else you can do for the house?
We've got to do better with making sure that everybody can get out of the house. Once you're outside, don't go back in. That's the firefighter's job. Not even for a pet. I've got my dogs here with me right now. That's the guys, if they're not with me and I can't grab them when I go out, the firefighters will get them when they go outside. And once you're outside, you never, ever, ever go back in. And having that meeting place as well, that's important too, so we can make sure that everybody is accounted for.
Right. So that's a place where, like mom, dad, children, everybody meets, so you can say, we're all here.
We're all here. That's right.
Now in school, what advice do you have for the children in school?
Listen to your teachers, stay calm. The teachers, they practice this, they've got their plan, and then they know what they're supposed to do. But listen to your teachers, drop what you're doing. Don't try to gather up book bags or any other items, and just follow the direction of your teacher. And when you have that drill at school, go home and practice it at home.
If a boy or girl wants to become a firefighter, what does a typical firefighter do in a day?
The first thing they do when they come in usually is make a pot of coffee. Make a pot of coffee. They talk to the off-going crew to find out how their shift was. Is there any information that they need? Is there anything going on in the city, like an event in the school that they need to know about? There are just some of the things that they do. Then they go and they get all of their fire gear and they put it on the apparatus that they're going to be working on that day. And they start checking off their apparatus. Do they have all of the equipment that they need? Is it in working order? Checking the oil in the trucks, making sure the ladders work and the jaws of life work and everything is there. And it's just usually a pretty busy day. That usually takes a couple of hours to do all that. We get calls for people's smoke alarms that are activated and there's no fire. The batteries are dead or they just need to be replaced, one of those two things. Carbon monoxide alarms, the same thing. We do get quite a few gas leaks. There was one this morning. And the guys will go and they'll just make sure that the gas company, stay there for the gas company just in case it sparks and they need to use the footwater or take care of help the gas company with the fires, with the gas leak.
And every time 911 is called, doesn't the fire department go on that call as well?
Mm-hmm. If it's a first aid type call, medical emergency, they do.
Now, what kind of training does a firefighter get?
The firemen, when they're hired here, the first part of their training is called CPAT, and it's I think a 10-minute, 30-second test, and it's all physical. And they have to complete that test in under 10 minutes and 30 seconds in order to go to the State Fire Academy. Mm-hmm. And once they go to the State Fire Academy, that's called 1001, 1002, and that's just the basic firefighting class that all firefighters have to have within a short period of time of being hired by a fire department.
I see.
Yeah. And then the classes after that, they've got driver operator, which teaches them how to drive the fire truck, how to get water on a fire from the fire truck. That's not covered in the basic class. And then there's hazardous material. That's another class that they have to
Right.
do. So there's all these classes. It's a constant learning process. And in Madison, all of our firefighters also have to be emergency medical technicians. So that's another class that they have to do. And then some go on and also become paramedics, which is nice.
Yeah.
They've built a phenomenal training prop there that has stairs and some things, some rooms that they can practice in. And it's on our Facebook page if you want to look at those pictures. And it's just constant training. They've got to constantly work out to stay in shape. They can't just go in, get the training, and then never it is constant training. The other thing we have a dive team and a task force team. So if someone is lost, we could take part in going to helping somebody who's lost. When they had the hurricanes on the coast, our Swiftwater team was activated to go help there just in case they had to rescue people from the rising floodwaters. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah. What an incredible service. You mentioned your Facebook page. Could you tell everybody how we can get to your Facebook page?
Yeah, it's Madison, MS, Madison, Mississippi Fire Department.
Oh, this has been so informative and fun to talk to you.
It's good to see you. Yeah. It's a little bit different than last year.
Yeah, a little bit.
We had Monday and Tuesday we went to Madison United Methodist and did a show and tell. So we are starting to do those. We're changing the way we do them. So if anybody wants us to, we're not letting people come to the station, which is fine. But we can come to the daycares and the schools if anybody would like us to.
Oh, that's great. And what's the best way to contact you to get an appointment for something like that?
Yeah, the office number is 601-856-8894.
Okay.
And that's the office number. And if after office hours, it's going to ring to Station 2 on Old Canton Road, which is fine. One of the guys will answer it and give us the message. So,
awesome.
But it is good because we got to get the word out with fire safety.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa, for coming today.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you soon at the library.
I am telling you. I know. That'll be fun. You just let me know when y'all have them back up. Let us be some of the first ones that come.
That's right.
Yeah.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks, Becky. See you later.